had read about Stan's theories on how our experiences in the womb affected our unconscious, but to hear him explain it gave me a whole new understanding.
Find that the experiences, if you regress to birth, the experiences come in 4 patterns. I call them perinatal matrices, basic perinatal matrices. The first perinatal matrix relates to the situation of the fetus still in the womb before the onset of the delivery. This could be pregnancy, which is the result of planning, of the parents' loving expectation. The mother is physically healthy, is in emotionally good condition. Reliving of that kind of state would be a very ecstatic experience. Now, this doesn't necessarily happen. There are pregnancies which are a result of rape, of a one-night stand when both parents were drunk, where the marriage was broken, the mother is abused, physically and emotionally unhealthy. The pregnancy could be so unwelcome that there are attempts at abortion. Another possibility, the mother is Rh negative, the father is Rh positive, so that from the beginning, the fetus is being attacked, immunologically treated as an invader. Come 9 months plus minus, this is the onset of the delivery. First hormonal changes, which are then translated into mechanical contractions of the uterus. Each contraction compresses the arteries and interrupts placentary circulation between the mother and the child, which means no supply of oxygen, no nourishment coming in, and there's no removal of metabolic products. There's no resolution for it because the cervix is not open, just contractions of the uterus in a closed system. Now, with each contraction, the cervix is being pulled over the head, it's dilating. When it reaches the necessary size, then it's the transition to the third matrix. The contractions continue with all the consequences, but the cervix is now open, so there is this laborious propulsion through the birth canal. Now there are tremendous pressures here, suffocation and the pain generate powerful energy, which has all the qualities of sexual energy. Our first encounter with sexual energy, we were inflicting pain on another organism was inflicting pain on us. We couldn't breathe. There were a lot of pressures and fear. This kind of experience then can become the basis of the development of various sexual dysfunctions, deviations, aberrations, perversions. Then we have the completion of the delivery, head first or feet first, and then the umbilical cord is cut. From then on, the child exists as an anatomically independent individual, still biologically, emotionally dependent, of course.
The matrices begin with unity, transition to hell with no escape, then to purgatory, with the end in sight, where you are the victim and the perpetrator and the observer, and finally culminate in freedom and a newfound sense of connection. Joseph Campbell is best known for his work in comparing mythologies and religions from cultures around the world. He met Stan in the late 60s at a conference in New York City. When Campbell heard Stan's theory on the 4 perinatal matrices, he instantly solved a mystery that had intrigued him for years. He couldn't understand how cultures from diverse geographical locations could share the same death-rebirth themes. He called it a monomyth. But when he saw Stan's presentation, he understood that these cultures were reliving the experience of their own births. The perinatal matrices, especially the 3rd moving into the 4th, served as the threshold for the hero's journey. The rites of passage that these cultures developed allowed their initiates to access unconscious birth memories, face their fear of death, and finally, free themselves from a deep maternal dependency.
Birth itself is not only a rite of passage, but is perhaps the universal rite of passage that we all go through. Perhaps it's through that experience that we come into the world knowing deeply that if we are to succeed in the ongoing actualization of our potentials, whatever they are as individuals, throughout the life cycle for however long we live, we will need to undergo repeatedly